Hello my fellow car modelers, how are you doing today? We are going to take a look at a future project I had planned out and kind of stuffed everything into this box. I don't know how many of you remember this debacle of a Vega that Stevens International had put out. The Vega had not been around in a long time, and they put this Vega out. It was the old Pro Stock Vega, the last version of it, which they called, you know, the old box art, here it is, of the Twister Vega. Problem with this is this was a kit that was released, retooled from the Vegas of the past, and they kind of updated it to what they thought the next Vega was going to be, which ended up not having. This is like a Monza nose here, but thank goodness this old tooling got redone by round 2 models, and they came out with the redone bodies, which are just absolutely exceptional. I don't care what anybody says. I love the past Vega kits that they came out with, and I hope they pump those out again soon. But anyways, you know, this was, geez, many years ago. What's it say on here? We could say, we'll take a look at the box real quick. Yeah. 2005. Geez, that was 21 years ago when they repopped this. Of course, it was one of them special deals, you know, when that was happening about 20 years ago, and Model King was getting involved. It was before round 2 came in. That's kind of where round 2 got their idea, when they bought up AMT and MPC, since there was these little side companies that were financing the repopping of very old tooling. Round 2 has been doing that forever, and I never understand the criticism that people give them on that. I think it's fantastic, because we never, if you were a modeler past 20 years ago, you would have a different attitude about what round 2 does. But anyways, that's really not what this video is about. I could go on about that. I've made plenty of them, how I think, you know, you're all wrong and I'm right about round 2 models. Damn! Kidding, sorry, I'm just kind of kidding, kind of. You got to give them a break, dude. They're a great company. They're doing a great job. Anyways, honestly, this is not, we're not even going to be talking about a Vega. I got this mock-up I want to do of this project I like to do, what I bought this kit for. It doesn't even have a, what is this? Look at that. This is the kit that I got, that body, a Monza body. I want to do a Monza Pro Street. Well, not a Pro Street, I'm sorry, Pro Stock. I want to do a Monza drag car. So I had picked up that Monza. That's interesting. It was a surprise. I actually cut the box art out and put it in the kit. But I had picked up this kit years ago, and it must have been a damaged box. I don't remember what was going on with that, but I cut the box top out. That is pretty cool. The latest Monza that's out, that is from the AMT tooling, and to me the AMT tooling is just not, the MPC is far more superior in accuracy of the body. So I have over the years picked up as many MPC Monzas as I could, but this tooling is obviously not available anymore. I don't think we'll ever see this tooling of this Monza for whatever reason, but at least, you know, they have the AMT, so it's better than nothing. So it's good that you know, that round 2 models has put that back out. And of course, everybody knows it doesn't come with a stock front end, so you can get one from Luka C Products. Shameless plug. Anyways, let's get away from that. Maybe in this video I might have a body here we can do a comparison kind of to of the difference between the AMT and the MPC, but again, that's not what we're really after. MPC Monza. Love it, love it, love it. And here's all the parts that I got for, you know, that come with it. But we have our Vega parts. I guess I got, yeah, the whole kit's in here. So we've got the there it is. Yeah, look at that. Take a look at these. These decals are not savable. But, oh well. Yeah, the Hot Streak Monza. So I basically combined both kits, because here is the, that's cool to know. Oh, there's some cool wheels here and a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, this is from the MPC Monzas, and we do have everything in here from the MPC Monzas. And we're going to pull a few things out, because we're going to do some mocking up and playing around. And this is from the Vega kit. And take some of this stuff out. Oh, look at that. That's some cool parts from the Monza. Yeah, that might be something to think about for a hood scoop for the Monza. But actually, I want to put a hood scoop on there. And the separate bumpers that the Monza had. Glass and all that. This stuff, this is everything white is from the Vega kit. The big block that Vega's never had. So let's go ahead and just do a little mopping up and seeing. And this body is kind of a little bit twisted, but not enough to really worry about. It'll all snap back. We have the interior tubs, the chassis, and a lot of similarities between the Monza chassis and the Vega chassis. They're pretty close. Looks like the wheelbases are exactly the same. So since they kind of did this hokey cutout for you for the Vega chassis, I would use that. Here's the Vega interior, which does have cool tubs in the interior. Want to use that, a little more race car-y. And we have a little bit of a shape problem here, as you can see. The interior tubs are a little different. That might need some chopping to happen. But let's see how badly the Vega interior fits the Monza. Which is fine. Probably can still make it work. And yeah, with a little bit of grinding, you probably can make it work. A little bit of filling, a little bit of changing. Might be able to make it work a bit. Let's see what happens when we put the Vega drag race chassis down in there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, a little bit of finagling, but... And, you know, this is a simplistic chassis from the early 70s. It's okay. My plan is I'm really building a model here that is just presentation, not precision. Remember that? If you watch this right here, our podcast, we talked about that. I'm not worried about precision and totally correct. I'm worried about how it's going to sit on the table. So let's take one of these good old drag slicks from, you know, the old MPC mold that went on to the AMT kits too. We'll drop that. Cool. I love that wheel. The wheel well is a little tight. We're not going to fit in there. Which, you know, they widen these. So let's get this out of the way. Maybe we can at least get a look in there of what. I mean, yeah. Definitely got to open that wheel well up. That's the only way you're going to make this look right. But I think we could get this Vega chassis to work in this Monza. And I'm sure this would work with that Monza. There we go. Gives you a little idea. We'd probably have it. I like them like, you know, the 70s where it was kind of like that. But the one thing I want to do, and I'm not into grinding out the wheel well all open. I like it when they stretch the wheel well. I've talked about this and showed it in other past videos of how it's done. I do that lots of times with models the way they do it on the real cars. But you always got to find a donor, you know, wheel well to, you know, especially a lip. If you want to retain this lip and all that. And I just like retaining the stock look of the lip. Just needs to be wider. And that's just pretty much how it's done on the real race cars. You know, you look at that look. That is cool. That would be something I'd want to do on this body. I am just going to do a generic, probably, you know, car somebody would run in super gas. Maybe it was an old Pro Stock car, went down into super gas. Just a sportsman car. I just have this vision of one that used to race here in Phoenix many years ago. One day I was walking into a shop when I delivered parts, and we're talking the 90s, and the entire frame, just the frame of the car, totally bare, but it was that color, was hanging on the guy's wall in his shop. And I asked him about it, and he showed me pictures of this Monza. I remember watching that thing race. I always liked it. So that's kind of the car I want to build. And I don't know if the picture I'm showing you is that car, but it looked just like the one I'm showing you. So I want to go for that dark burgundy metallic color. And I just had that vision for a long time for this. I've also got a couple more of these that I plan on doing a Grumpy's toy. Of course, that's what everybody does with these. But this has got the later nose. I don't really want to do a Grumpy's toy with this nose, so I kind of took this body, plus it being yellow. It's the old yellow where they had dyes, not pigments, and it could come through. I mean, there's ways to get about it, but I just don't want to deal with that. I think I can just do that color that I want to do, and I got to get the twist out of this. It's not that bad. Woo, it really twisted. But yeah, I just want to get that sportsman drag car look. And let's see if we can kind of do a quick mock-up here. Oh, here. We might as well get some matching wheels. I already have that. I love these. They're my favorite drag wheels. These Krieger drag stars. I love those. That if I can get those, it would be the wheel choice I'd put in this model. So let's get this set and where it would go. Right about there. Here we go for the kind of the mock-up. That is 100% the look I am going for. I love Pro Stock, Super Gas, Super Comp, whatever class you would run with this. I love tubbed out tube chassis Monzas. Love them, love them, love them. Such a cool looking car. And before we quit on this video, real quick, I don't have that AMT kit that Round 2 put out of their Monza, the wide body kit, but I do have one of the old issues from AMT that's the same kit. This is actually the kit that I used, the nose that I reproduced, and I don't even have, oh, I got, well, this is my resin copy. I don't have the original in here. So, yeah, I went ahead and used the nose that was in this kit to produce that one. But this is the same kit that Round 2 has put out without the stock nose. So if you got that kit and you want to make a stock Monza and you want to do a Pro Street, or you have an extra Vega and you want to use that chassis, we'll do a mock-up of this so you can see. So this is the AMT. There is my resin nose. Perfect copy. It goes on there. I'm sure these are going to be fun to stay on. And that was the thing about the AMT version. It had separate front and rear. I wonder if it'll sit. Let's see if we can get this to sit right here. Stay together. And let's compare. Here is the MPC is in yellow, AMT is white. There's that. This is where it really gets wonky. You can really see the different look between the two right there. This is a neat comparison for you guys to see how you feel about it. And there's a lot of talk that the AMT is definitely not as nice as the MPC. I am in that camp, but the proportions are just a little weird. This is a little wider, so you can really fit some chassis under there, but that's also kind of what has it lose its proportions, because the Monza had a really fuselage-y type side, really tucked under, where the AMT doesn't do it as quite as much, a little more slab side. There's a look at the rears. And yeah, so if it's all you can get because it's available, it's better than a kick in the butt, right?
Wait, what?
So we've got that. Might as well do the mock-up, right? So let's go ahead and do the tuck. And there's your AMT look as a drag car. So, yep, there you go. AMT and the MPC, which I prefer. Oh, we didn't even do this real fast. We'll go ahead and got ahead of myself. We'll put the Vega. The Vega interior fits a tiny bit, but it's a little more narrower. You can see because this AMT Monza is a bit wider. So you see those gaps right there. But that works in there. Look at that look. This chassis will fit in there too. Might have a little bit longer wheelbase on this car too, but that's very adjustable. There you go. So yeah, it would work. It would work. But what I'm going for is the MPC Vega with the MPC Monza. And that's where we're rolling with this today. So I want to thank you all for watching. That was a lot of fun. I always like mocking up models, bodies, and shoving tires. And I mean, I know you do, right? Why? Why do you do it along with me? And why are you watching me do this? Because it's fun, right? Here's the producers.